I get this kind of feedback. Well, yeah, you're good to humans, and then by being good to humans, they will want to clean up the environment or something like that. Like so, it's like this very kind of one to one, like one
No.
domino to the next domino thing. But there's also this kind of quantum movement
Yeah.
that if something changes here,
Yeah.
something all the way on the other side of the universe also changes instantly. So it's not just one
Right.
hits the one, hits the one, hits the one. There's also this other aspect about it that the wisdom of Kabbalah is talking about, which
Right.
is not found in the normal intellect of people, and what makes it so difficult to bring this wisdom to people because a person really has to be ripe to understand what we're talking about because as simple as you make it, there's still nothing in this world
It
that
goes
the
against it goes against our more immediate visceral sensations. That's the problem. Because our immediate visceral
how can you
sensation
explain
is
that your
this
thoughts are going to
domino.
stop a volcano?
You can explain it. It's explainable. It's just not something that you can feel until you begin to feel it a little bit. People who are, who begin to practice this wisdom, who have an awakening towards the wisdom of Kabbalah, they typically begin to have a sensation that everything's connected, and because everything's connected, there's one force that's guiding the whole system. You understand, it's one and the same. If everything is connected, there can't be many different forces. All of the system acts as one. So the people who come to the wisdom of Kabbalah, they have some sensitivity towards that singular force of reality, that they belong to it as well. They begin to feel their belonging to the singular force in reality, and that's what opens their ears to begin to comprehend what the Kabbalists are actually talking about. That they're talking about actual laws of nature that are hidden from our five senses, from our ordinary bodily perception. They're talking about laws that connect the human level to the still vegetative and animate level beyond our physical
Okay,
behavior.
hold on, just a
Yeah.
second for anybody who hasn't gone through the Kabbalah of revealed one and two. When you say still vegetative and animate, just break it down for a second.
Right. So wait, I think I'll do it from going at it from where you started, because I think that was really important what you started talking about. You how for
I
a
said if I think
for
bad about someone, I'm going to get
yeah,
kicked in
yeah,
the
yeah.
back, like to discover that
it's
network.
it's okay, so it's easy to tell people, look, if people will be good to each other and feel connected to each other and feel connected to the planet, they will pollute less, they will deplete the resources less, they won't rape the planet as badly as they're
As
doing it
much.
now. Yeah, exactly. They will a little bit, but less. That's something that's understandable. And you can say that this is, on some level, that's also relevant to what the wisdom of Kabbalah is saying. But this is totally not the big reveal here. The big reveal, the big thing, is that human thought, human desire, and human intention have a major role in all levels of nature. Why is it? Because those levels that I've mentioned before, inanimate, vegetative, animate, and human, basically everything that we see around us in nature, right? Whether it's rocks and minerals, or plants, or animals, or people, there's basically these four levels. They appear to us as four levels of life, four levels of matter, four levels of creatures, things, creatures, and us, kind of. That's what it appears to us. But from a deeper perspective, a non material perspective, what the Kabbalists reveal is a picture that shows that all of those levels are intricately connected, um, um, frequencies of desire.